So today I have the pleasure with Shaun to take an interview. We're sitting right now in the sun and there's no wind anymore, no rain. That's awesome. Would you do me the favor to introduce yourself? What you're doing? Where are you from?
I'm from Scotland and England and Germany. I was born in Germany. I'm Scottish and English blood.
Where in Germany?
In Zoltau.
Ah.
And after 6 months, I moved to Scotland when I was a baby, and I moved all the time when I was a kid. Because my dad was in the army, and now I'm an adult. I cannot stay for too long in one place.
Okay.
For more than 2 years or 3 years, because my whole childhood I move. So now I have to. If I feel too comfortable in a place, and everything is going good, then I have to leave and start again.
Nice. So, what do you do for a living?
I'm a chef.
Yeah. Pretty good chef. Tell me about the skiing stuff.
I was a private chef in the Alps this winter. A lot of fun, a lot of jacuzzi parties and breaking bones and a bit of cooking.
So how did it happen that you landed in the Maverick?
We ended up in a really dirty place in the middle of the countryside in Portugal. And my girlfriend couldn't accept the place, and neither could I really. I was happy for the bed, but we were supposed to stay there and then go to Spain, to Galicia, and on impulse, because of this dirty apartment we stayed in, we came here. We can't really camp at the moment because a dog chewed on our tent and it's a bit fucked. And before that, the last time we were camping, we were wild camping in France, and I was asleep by the fire, and a dog came in the camp and I put my hand into the coals. So we're not having much luck with the camping this year.
Oh, nice. So what's your next destination so far?
I think we're going to hang around in Portugal and do some natural building volunteering, and then go to the Spanish Pyrenees for a ski season or for part of a ski season to work in a hotel, hostel, restaurant combination.
Do you have some special routines for you during the daytime?
Yeah, I normally have a lemon water at some point in the morning for my metabolism, and quite a big breakfast, and included in that breakfast is quite a lot of coffee and a hash, so it's balanced breakfast.
Other routines, like some mental things, or?
No, I don't have any mantras or anything like that.
You were talking about a diary.
It's a joke, just to make fun of you, I think.
Thank you, that's awesome. So, what's a point in your life where you were really desperate, nothing's working out?
I got really sick. I got really sick a few years ago. The doctors didn't know what it was, and I lost all of my weight. I lost all of the muscle and the fat, and I had a strange self-image in the mirror. I think similar to anorexia, that I couldn't really see how bad the problem was because it was really bad, and the doctors didn't know what to do. And I went to doctors in Holland. I went to doctors in England, and then I moved to Italy, and I saw a nutritionist there, and that sort of changed my life because she told me to stop everything that could potentially be doing damage to my body, which was coffee, chocolate, spices, drugs, cigarettes, alcohol, everything that is fun in life. She told me to stop, and because I was on the last of my life, I couldn't digest anything.
Yeah.
I wasn't surviving anymore. I was really worried for my life. So I quit everything that day. And after a month or two, I started to live again. And then something else happened in my system, that I had to take a lot of antibiotics because my stomach had crashed. And I had to reset everything with antibiotics. So again, my recovery was reset. And then I went on a course of probiotics and the same thing as the nutritionist had told me, to cut out all of the fun stuff. And I eventually built back the muscle and the fat and became healthy again. And I think all of that was due to stress. I was replacing happiness with coffee and wine and drugs. And I was just stressed all the time, and my body just collapsed, I think.
Okay, for me to know, what did you do at that time? What was your job?
Well, I'd been a drug dealer and a career criminal until I was 26. And that happened when I was around 24. And it's a difficult job, so that was where the stress was coming from, partly.
And how did you change that? I mean, it's to get out of that. I imagine it's to be really rough. Well, can you say just, yeah, thank you,
no,
bye, I'm quitting, bye?
Well, I worked for a very dangerous group of people, and I quit for that because I didn't get paid, and then I became a chef because it's safer.
Yeah.
Safer option.
Yeah. So how do you like it to be a chef?
Yeah, I love it. It's nice.
Yeah.
It makes people happy. It's just a good job. It makes me happy. I like to eat.
Yeah.
You like to eat. She likes to eat. And the dogs have the rest.
What would you say is about your lifestyle right now? Does the whole thing make you happy? Is that what you see yourself for the next few years, or?
No, I need some stability, I think, for health. General health.
Yeah.
I need something more stable. So the life of the road will hopefully lead to something stable. I had stability in Amsterdam, but it was the wrong place to be stable. So for a new area.
What do you think is the purpose of life?
I don't know.
What do you think is your purpose of life?
I don't think there is a purpose of life. I don't really have an answer to that question because it changes all the time. I don't think I have a place in the world to do something.
Okay, if we think about money doesn't matter. You have a lot of money. What would you do? And you cannot fail. What would you do with your life?
Farming. Just farming the land. Farming and growing. Yeah.
What would you do for other people?
Cooking, farming and growing. And massage.
Oh, massage, that's a good thing. Yeah.
That's about it, I guess. I can't do much more than that.
Nice.
I think that's enough for one life.
I think so too. So, what about surfing? Why do you like surfing?
It's adrenaline sport. Adrenaline is a nice way to exit the real life and go into slow motion. You live in the moment when you surf or when you do any adrenaline-based sport. That's why people become addicted to it, but I think it's a healthy addiction.
So do you sometimes compare yourself to other people, or are you all the time totally settled and by yourself? And
I never compare myself to other people. I don't think I should be like someone else, or anyone should be different than they are. I think it's good that we're all different. And I don't think comparing yourself to someone who has a bigger house or a bigger dick or whatever it is that you might want in your life, I don't think that's healthy.
That's a good thing. So what about your education?
Yeah, it wasn't that good. My school was rough in England. I had a better education in Germany. I was well educated until I went to England, and then it was more of a tough ride. And then I went to university to study marketing, but I quit in the end to become a cannabis cultivator because it was something that I just began and I was really passionate about. So that was the beginning of me trying to stop being a drug dealer and start to be more of a hippie, connected to the earth person. That's what growing weed did for me, was make me less of an asshole, because before that I was a bit of an asshole, fighting a lot and having lots of problems in life. So it was a good change, I think.
So what about your friends? What are your friends like? What people are you surrounded by?
I like peaceful people. I like people that are calm and that know themselves. So I generally find myself with people who are quite quiet. I like shy people and humble people, I guess. I'm quite confident myself, and I guess opposites attract. So I prefer the company of more calm people because it makes me more calm.
So you must have a lot of friends in other countries.
Yeah. That's nice as much as it is difficult because I'm not much of a technology person. I don't really keep up with anyone. So I lose touch with best friends all the time. It doesn't mean that we don't. If we meet each other after 4 years or 2 years or however long, we're still brothers or family or whatever. But I don't write to anyone. I'm not really, because there's always something new to do. And I'm not really looking back to anything.
Okay, if you imagine we have some people listening that got stuck in like some bad job, doing something they actually not really want to do. Do you have a tip? How can you quit this habit? How can you get out of this circle? What did you do?
You have to do it by yourself. I don't agree with taking help when you are fucked. I don't mean if you need money, don't take it, or if you need a hand or an ear, then don't take it. But I think that to be strong, it has to come from you. So if you're having a problem, you have to change that and not expect it to change by itself. And that's the difficult thing is sometimes you have a problem that you feel you can't fix yourself. But eventually, if you fix everything yourself, you'll be strong after. And if it's a bad job and you earn a new job that's better, then you'll be more content in that job. And that's happened to me. I've been a window cleaner, I've been a trash collector. So now I appreciate to have a clean kitchen to work in and the benefits of my job. I appreciate them more because I've been in a shit job and find my way out. It's good. It's difficult to get out of the shit situations, but you have to be strong because eventually we're all alone in the world. When it comes down to the tough parts of life, you are completely alone. So regardless of what a family or friends you have, it's up to you to make the change.
Yeah, that's what I think. And do you have any regrets in life? Like when you see your life, what you did before, like would you say I should have done or right now, or are you like them? It's all the experience I had were good, so I can be here right now.
Yeah, I used to have regrets about choices I'd made and choices people around me had made that affected me. But eventually the negativity of that thought poisoned my mind. So for me, it's better to let it go immediately, no matter what it is, because you're going to give yourself cancer.
That's so true. Yeah. So
no regrets. I've made plenty of bad choices. I've been in plenty of fucked up situations, but I don't regret any of it because you learn something. The worse something is, the harder the lesson that you learn.
Yeah. So I think there are no bad decisions then, because all decisions brought you here, and if you learn something from that and you change it, so it's for a purpose.
Exactly.
So but most of the people, or everybody, I think has that, cannot let go the past and live right now, because every day we think I should have done that, I should have done that.
I say that to people all the time. You cannot live in the future because it doesn't exist. You cannot live in the past because it's unchangeable. So the only thing you can change is the moment now. You can't guess who's going to walk here next and what will happen. So don't plan your future. Yeah. It's going to change anyway. Yeah. And if you base your ideas of happiness on what will happen tomorrow, you're not going to be happy today.
Exactly, that's a good thing. The only thing what I try is right now just to imagine the person I want to be in the future. So I try to do that every morning, like a vision, what I want to become. It's still hard. If you're going through the day, you're always like, it's not here, not yet, why not?
Yeah.
How do you manage that?
I think that everything comes in time, and I don't push too hard for things, because I realize in the various careers I've had that if you take time out and go back, the same as any problem, if you sleep on it, it's the same with your skills. if you build up skills in something, and then you take a break, and then you move, and then you come back with a new brain 1 month or 6 months later, you'll be better. I've experienced it myself, so I don't think you should be killing yourself to do something. I think it will happen naturally if it's supposed to.
I really like that. Would you mind telling me the story of your first tattoo again? the
bear.
Big bear bed.
Yeah, I was just not happy with life, with my girlfriend or my friends. I was a bit raging, and I've always liked bears because of their solitary strength, and I like animals. It's one of my favorite animals, the bear. So I went to a reputable tattoo artist who was quite drunk and high on coke, and around 75 years old, looking like Gandalf, only wearing like a little leather waistcoat with no top on, like proper cliche cool dude, you know.
And it was in the Alps, in the snow, right?
No, it was in Amsterdam.
Ah, okay.
These other shit ones were in the snow. Those friends. But I asked him to draw a bear, and he drew a child's drawing of a 2-dimensional dog/cat. And I didn't know how to. I have to let the dog in. I didn't know how to. I got a bit pissy, so we found a picture of a bear online, and he drew it perfectly, and we all got drunk. It's a good time in general. Classic tattoo, I guess.
I think for that, it looks pretty amazing.
Yeah, and he was really squinting, like you could really see that he was old and blind and drunk. And like it was very obvious, you know, by the way he was tattooing, and yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, I really like that story. Damn, it's so good. Any smart advices for people? Do you have like 3 main things that you would say to like the younger you, like 3 things right now that you say the younger Shaun? What advice would you give him?
To keep reading and to keep working out. That's 2 really important things, I guess, and to focus on a balanced diet, because I really think those things you can't be a good healthy person without a balance in life. And I think for me, food is, if I skip a meal, I can't think properly the next day. I lose weight quickly, and then it affects my performance in life. So food is so necessary, and a balanced diet. And by that I mean not eating only the same thing all the time, to try things new all the time, because every fruit has a different composition. So if you eat every single fruit and every single vegetable that exists, you don't need any medicine. You have all the nutrition available on the earth. But we eat only strawberries, bananas, apples. Maybe, of course, we eat some other shit. But if you go to Japan or in Asia, they eat the full spectrum of food, and they live longer than we do.
Yeah.
And that's advice that I still don't take myself, and I'm aware that it's so important to eat every day, a good balance. And I'm still thinking about having a beer now instead of having lunch, so I really need to take that advice.
Yeah.
That's the most important one.
Yeah.
The food, we're all fucking it up, we're all stupid.
Yeah, because we're made out of this food. If you're just eating shit, you're becoming shit. It's it's in your body. So. And
we feel like we're in too much of a rush with the new way of the world. Everything's in a hurry. Everything has to be now. But good food takes time, and I think we should all spend a bit more time thinking about what we're putting in our bodies.
Yeah, exactly. What because you're talking a lot about food and all this stuff. During your childhood, what did your mom cook? How was your eating behavior? Did you have a proper meal and like celebrating it all together, or how was that?
No, we didn't have a diet. We just ate frozen food and microwaved food. So I'm surprised that I made it to adulthood without serious health issues, because my mother and father both worked.
Yeah.
Neither of them were able to cook anything beyond overcooking some vegetables, and they never made us eat vegetables because we didn't like them, and they never tried to make us eat them. So luckily I liked fruit from when I was a teenager, so I incorporated fruit into my diet, but my brother was disgusted by it because he'd never been made to eat it. So we had a very, very poor diet, and I guess when I got kicked out of my house when I was 16, that was the first thing on my mind. And the first thing I did was, I'd never cooked. I'd never been taught to cook. I'd only been able to make toast or put something in the microwave.
Yeah.
And I moved in with my friend after my mother disowned me. I went to my friend's apartment. I went to the supermarket. I bought noodles and vegetables and chilies, and I tried to make a stir fry, and it worked out. And I was so fucking happy with myself. I was like, that was not difficult at all, and it was tasty. And wow, food exists because I hadn't tasted it. I hadn't known about food, and I guess that was the start of me becoming passionate about food. But I didn't become a career chef until 10 years later.
I think it's really important for all the childs. I mean, there are a lot of people, a lot of working parents, and I think in school it should be really more taken into account to teach the kids how to cook. Right now, normally you say your parents should be able to teach you that, but it's not like that because everybody's working more, less time for the kids. And what would you say to get more into that thing in school?
I would say I agree with you for the most part that the school is responsible for the kids. However, I would disagree and say that actually families should be closer than they are these days.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Cooking should be a part of that. Like you said, do you have long dinners and with your family? No, I didn't, but when I went to live in Italy, I lived with the family there, and the food was celebrated, and and everyone was big and strong and healthy, and they didn't get sick, even if they hated each other, which is normal for a family. There was a deep love and bonding there that was missing in my cold family. So yeah, family does play an important part in food because you should already be with your mother from a kid. You should be with her in the kitchen. I think that's natural. And I think that's missing from a lot of families. Yeah,
even if you're a boy, I think this classification in some cultures, it's shit. So
yeah, but at the same time, the school systems are being run more like businesses these days. Yes. So the food is factory crap, like the same as what you find, in a supermarket or a fast food restaurant. Yeah. There's a lot of crap, and no one cares enough. Yeah, that's the problem.
They want the kids to be focused during the classes, and during the lunchtime they're giving them shit. After that, they are like tired and everything. So it doesn't make any sense.
No sugar and salt and empty carbs. It doesn't make you focus. And anyway, if you're a teenager, it's difficult enough to focus. So you need the right diet to be able to learn properly. Yeah. If that's missing, then how can you learn?
So for me, I'm totally happy that you are here because we already had this amazing dinners. I'm looking forward to have some more. So thank you for the interview, and if you want, I can hashtag you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, have a nice day. Bye.
Nice one.
Thank you guys for listening to this podcast episode. And we were talking about food in schools, food in companies, how we eat by our own. I had some nice ideas with some friends for like cooking classes in kindergarten and school. Actually, the kids and the parents together to learn how to cook some proper meals. Some healthy food, which is not too expensive, which you can really prepare easily, and maybe also the kids can prepare the food. Maybe they can cook sometime. Kids always want to help, and I think it's a nice idea to cook together, as we mentioned before. So maybe also the companies can offer some cooking class and meet up at some co-workers at home. Most of the times it's just a matter of the recipe. You're in the shop and you don't know what to cook, what recipe, you're not prepared. Wouldn't it be nice to have 4 or 5 recipes and you do the cooking class again, then you have 10 recipes. Or you make 2 groups, the one group is cooking that, the other group is cooking that. I think everybody knows the feeling after lunchtime. You just want to take a nap at the couch because you ate something you found in the fridge and it was, something. So how we can make it possible. Yeah, maybe you can just comment how you do it in school, what is offered in your school, what ideas do you have, how you can prepare some healthy food for your kids, and yeah, would be nice. So thank you for listening, and hopefully see you in the next episode. Bye bye.